Hello and welcome to P.S. Such a Connection. I'm P.
And I'm S, and we're talking about week
9.
9 of Nick Viall's season of The Bachelor.
Technically, week 9, part 1
Right.
of
Week 9, part 1.
of Nick Viall's season.
And
of
a
The
little
Bachelor.
bit of week 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we started off with the rose ceremony. What are the... Do they still do those?
Yeah. Well, they
We
started off with
you're
Andy
right.
coming, and it was like super dramatic. Like, what's Andy gonna say? Oh my god, I have no idea.
And she said exactly what everyone thought she was gonna say.
I thought it was even dumber than what everyone thought she was gonna say because she was like, I want to let you go from, like, feeling upset about what happened to us, like, 10 years ago. Like, oh god, it was so dumb.
I know. I am the reason you can't find love.
It's so dumb.
Everything you're experiencing is because the feelings you have for me are holding you back.
It's really just
Oh god,
like,
we're blurry.
oh, come on.
I think it would have been, see, I'm all for, like, what if Andy had come and been like, take me back?
And if she had done that, I would have been like, yes. And he sends 2 of the girls home, and he's like, Andy's in the competition.
Andy is, but then he gets petty, and he's like, I'm gonna bring you to the top 2, and then reject you.
No, and then, like, The Bachelor is always like, this is gonna be the most dramatic season of The Bachelor ever. And they, like, got fucking, like, undercut last night by the Oscars because the Oscars was the most dramatic thing that's ever happened on television. Yeah. And they're like, oh, what are we gonna do? Andy's here to visit, guys! Like, what's Andy gonna do?
Okay, what if Andy and Caitlyn had come, and both of them were like, he's mine! And Caitlyn was like, I'm in a committed relationship, but...
They, like, punch each other in the face? Like, come on. If you're gonna write it better.
Caitlyn is like, me and Sean want you to be part of our polyamorous relationship. The 3 of us together, committed.
We discovered Mormonism last night. Now we're here. We want you. We want Andy. Let's make it work.
That would be phenomenal. Oh, so they're not fighting then. Then Andy and...
Yeah, and then they have a spin-off show called 2 Couples, 1 House.
What? 2 bachelors, 2 bachelorettes. Together forever. Come up with a better tagline, I guess. Yeah, so basically anything that would have made it interesting didn't happen.
Yeah.
Which is why I forgot about it. And then he goes into the rose ceremony where he had left 4 girls standing there for probably hours in the cold. They're just standing, waiting. And he goes out. And so I had said last week that if Corinne stayed through this rose ceremony, she was probably going to win because at that point, who could tell? And what happened was Corinne went home.
Yes.
Which was the most likely scenario, I thought. I mean, at this point.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense to me. She made it to hometowns. We got to see Raquel. It was kind of a horrible date.
Yeah, it was a very horrible date.
So she went home.
Yeah. And, like you said, so they spent all this time at the beginning, like, Corinne is horrible, but, like, Corinne wasn't, she was selfish and immature, but, like, she wasn't a terrible person.
She was selfish and immature, and, like, I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with her.
And she had horrible, horrible self-esteem.
Yeah.
And that all of those combined together were just a bad mix.
But she seems like she can actually be fun sometimes.
Yeah, she seems like she can be nice. And I she, like, seeing her really upset was like seeing a child crying, you know? It
Yeah.
seemed like she just didn't know.
But it also, like, I think showed to me that she genuinely liked him. She just had no fucking clue how to go about getting him to like her back.
That's true.
So it also made me feel a little bit better about the fact that I was like, wow, she's just here to try and have sex with him and like annoy the other girls by trying to have sex with him. But I think it was actually she just didn't know how to handle the situation.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Which makes me feel a little bit better about her and also like terrible for her because it sucks.
Yeah, and she was sobbing, like unadulterated, just letting it all go.
Yeah.
So, but we were waiting for this moment for a very long time. So it was bittersweet.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was just bitter for Corinne.
Yeah.
It was bittersweet for us as viewers.
And she was over it. Like she usually gave them great material, but she was like, I'm done, and like went to sleep.
Yeah. I mean, she did that a lot too.
She did. Like that was part of her good
thing.
material, but it was like, I'm not gonna sit here and scream at the camera or like call the girls whores. I'm just done and I'm going to sleep. Yup.
A short episode, so then they go to Finland. And
Finland. Oh, I was gonna grab my Finnish flag.
Oh, we don't have it.
I didn't do it.
The Finnish flag.
Suomi, the best place on earth.
Okay. Was that where they were?
Suomi is Finland in Finnish.
Oh.
Yeah, they were in Lapland, which, if you're looking for a cool movie that also has some suicide in it, there's a movie called Lapland Odyssey, and it's super funny. It's like a Finnish movie, takes place in Lapland. It like has a happy ending, but there's like this whole like Lapland is a super depressing place
because you're really selling this.
If you're born there, there's literally nothing to do. Like if you travel there, it's super cool and super fun, but if you're born there, like the economy is shit. There's nothing to do. You can basically work as a logger. Like there's nothing. And there are like no girls. Like it's a tough place to live. But the movie is a comedy. It's super funny and it ends on a nice note. So check it out. So they go to Finland. I'm sorry, guys. I love Finland.
I understand.
I can't, like, I was trying to think of tweets tonight, and I was just like, Finland this, Finland that, and I was like, I need to stop at some point, like.
It was gorgeous. Like, so gorgeous. And really basically all we got to see was Raven's one-on-one. They showed, those killer establishing shots of Finland.
The reindeer.
These awesome, like, anything involving the Northern Lights, like, I'm so jealous, but
it's almost unfair. Like, that's actually my dream, and they probably found out what Finland was 2 days ago.
Yeah. And Raven goes in like, I have to tell Nick that I'm in love with him. And my main thought about the Raven date was that no one seems to remember that she already told Nick that she loved him. She let it slip out on the haunted house, the before the haunted house date. And
it was during the haunted house.
It was during the haunted house date? Oh.
It was outside while they were at the haunted house.
And just zero acknowledgement from anyone that it happened. It did happen, right?
She's like, I've never told a guy that I loved him. Never. And it was like, wait, but we watched you do that. And like, I don't know, maybe they had a conversation where she was like, that wasn't really like what I meant.
Maybe.
So then she's feeling like I said it that time, and then we had that conversation where I was like, I don't actually
Yeah.
love you.
I love
Oops.
you, but not really.
And then she was like, okay, but I haven't said it again, and,
This
like, this
time.
is gonna get awkward, and he's not gonna know where I'm coming from, so, like...
Right. But yeah, I thought they didn't really show us a date. They, like, hung out, I guess.
Yeah, they were in the helicopter, and I guess that was, like, the majority of their date, and then they were just in a bar playing darts, and then a bunch of Finnish guys came over, which is where my bachelor picks would be from. Just those 3 guys that came over to them. I'll take them. There was one who had a braided beard.
I love
it
that.
was blonde and beautiful, and I was like, I'm in love with you.
Sold. Make him the next
Is your name
bachelor.
Kyle? Come at me.
No one else is supposed to understand that reference. If you're curious.
Unless you are this man, your name is Kyle. My number will be on the screen below. It won't, but find me.
So what do you think in the end is the chances he will be with Raven?
I'm starting to think that maybe he will.
You think?
I do, because I still think it might be Vanessa. But there have been so many times where Raven's gotten the rose that we just haven't seen, like, they haven't shown it. She got the rose first, like, all these times. I just feel like he's super into her, and they have this really good chemistry. I just feel like almost like she's too good for him. Like, I think they work really well together, but, like, I want her to be with the perfect man, and, like,
Luke.
Not even Luke.
No, people on Twitter were saying Raven should be with Luke.
They would probably be good together. I just, like, I don't think any man that has ever walked on the earth is good enough for her. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's just blinding me to the fact that they would actually be good together, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I hope... See, I get a lot of that sense, too, in almost, like, I don't like Vanessa nearly as much as I like Raven, but we know Rachel doesn't win, and him and Vanessa, like, they showed a scene in the hot tub where it seemed like they were having
an argument.
So maybe she doesn't win, but I almost feel like in a way they're more compatible, and not in a way that I like Vanessa better, but just that they're more compatible.
There's also, like, that thing that, like, just because he's kind of having these, like, spats with Vanessa and not with the other girls, like, you have to have spats with people in order to, like, see if your relationship is gonna work, if you can work through those things.
Yeah.
So, like, in that way, I could see where he would go for Vanessa, because they, like, work through something, and he goes, all right, so if we get into another fight, I know that we're more likely to work it out. Like, I know for a fact that we could work it out than with someone who he's never had any controversy with, and then, like, the first drop of the hat, who knows what could happen.
Yep. And we do know that Raven is a little bit crazy, so...
Perfectly crazy.
I love her.
She has never done anything without prompting.
That's true.
She is a hero.
That's true.
Amongst children or something.
Amongst children?
Yes. Children need a hero.
They do. They do. So then it's the thing with the fantasy suite, and he invites her to the fantasy suite, and she's like, I've only been with one man, and also he's never satisfied me before. And that was, like, I could just see in Nick's eyes, like, is that a conversation we're having right now? Like, I'm not sure.
He's like, all of a sudden, there's just this pressure on him to perform.
Yeah. Who knows?
I wonder if they would have sex after that. Like, or if they would be like, maybe we should wait because, like...
See, I think that
something
might
really
be
important to you.
I feel like that's something Nick would offer to do because I feel like he would, as a person, be like, this is really something you wanna. But I feel like Raven just seemed so ready.
Yeah.
She just seemed like, we're doing it. It's gonna happen. I don't need his. He doesn't even have to be there.
It was because she was already looking at a penis, so she was like, all right.
He's talking about Nick's head, for any of you wondering. It's the turtleneck kind of situation.
Seriously, just stare at that turtleneck situation for a while and just think of what, like, I don't know if he's circumcised, but just think of what it looks like when you look at him.
Alternatively, you could not do that. That's a completely viable option.
You definitely should, though.
But yeah, and then they went off into a Finnish bliss, and who knows what they did.
A beautiful. It's really good on, like, the people because they had, like, these giant windows so they could look at the northern lights. So, like, good on the producers for not being like.
Yes, I feel like
have that respect of privacy.
So creepy.
Well, remember when he and Caitlyn had sex and we listened to the noises of that for a while?
Yeah, we did for a lot too
long.
Like
they crossed the line.
There was a line, and it's
so yeah.
But yeah, and that's what happened. And next week is a 3-hour long premiere. So get ready for the long haul, you guys.
Yeah. Also, like, next week is going to be totally filled with Bachelor stuff, but this week you might be a little bit like, I didn't get my fix of Bachelor. It was only an hour long, but tomorrow on Screen Junkies, that's screenjunkies.com, you can go and you can sign up for a free trial if you aren't already subscribed, and you can watch Bachelor fights, which is going to be awesome. I don't exactly know who's going to be there. I'm pretty sure Jared will be there.
Love him.
Ashley, I might be there. It's going to be a list of Bachelor alumni. It's going to be awesome. We are not promoted by them.
We have no affiliation.
But they are awesome.
They don't know we exist.
And you should really check them out because it's definitely going to be a lot of fun.
And we will be talking about it.
Yes, we're going to make another video tomorrow about that hour-long episode.
So if you can't watch it, we'll fill you in.
Yeah. Have a good night.
We live tweet.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter at Such a Connection, where we will also be live tweeting the Bachelor TV fights tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, guys.